All right, so you've handed me the stack of articles, and we're diving into QR code menus. I gotta say, my first thought was, really? Is this really what we're talking about? I mean, they're everywhere, but are they actually changing things, or is this just like a fad?
It's a good question. And honestly, the articles you gave me, they get into that. Like, is this a fad? Is it more? What's interesting is that it becomes about way more than just a menu you don't have to touch. Like, it gets into the whole experience of eating out.
Okay, so for that one person out there who hasn't seen these things popping up, can we back up a sec? What are we even talking about?
Right. So basically, picture this little square on your table, right? That's the QR code. You scan it with your phone's camera, and boom, the menu just appears.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and where it gets really interesting from these articles, it's not just about reading the menu on your phone.
It's the ordering, isn't it? Because that's appealing to me. No more trying to flag down a server to say, like, one more iced tea over here.
You got it.
Hmm.
This one article from Manugio, they really hit on that being able to just order at your own speed is huge for a lot of people. And honestly, let's be real. We've all had that moment where the server mishears something or there's a mix-up and your order's wrong.
Yeah.
When you order right through the QR code, way less chance of that happening.
And fewer wrong orders means less food waste, which, thinking about it, probably ties into that whole cost-saving thing for restaurants.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah.
huge part of it. But it's bigger than that, too. Think about it. Prices are kind of crazy right now, right? For a restaurant to have to keep reprinting menus every time something changes, that's expensive. QR codes, you update them instantly. Huge for their bottom line.
Wow. See, that's something I didn't even think about. It's not just being techie for the sake of it. It's about, like, actually surviving as a business these days.
Right. And then there's the whole, like, running out of stuff. You ever really want something, and then they tell you, oh, sorry, we're all out.
The worst. It's always the thing I'm craving the most, too.
Right. QR codes can even help with that. Something
Yeah.
runs out, they take it off the digital menu instantly, no more disappointment. And for the restaurant, it's less waste, which, again, good for the planet, good for their business.
So we're saving money, we're saving food. Are we, like, saving the rainforests with these QR codes, too?
Maybe not the rainforest, but you're definitely onto something with the whole sustainability angle. And it's not just about, like, using less paper for the menus, though that is a good thing, of course.
Right, because I'm seeing a lot in these articles about, like, where ingredients come from, that whole farm-to-table idea, where QR codes come in.
Exactly. They can link you to info about all of that, where the food is from, how it's grown, even stuff the restaurant is doing that's eco-friendly. It's like their mission statement, but on the menu.
So it's not just, like, what am I eating? It's the whole story behind it. I like that. But, and I'm sure I'm not the only one wondering this, what about people who, just like a regular menu? Or what about, like, is all this tech kind of creepy data-wise?
Yeah. No, those are good points. And the articles actually talk about that, too. Like, good restaurants, they're going to give you options, right? You want paper, you get paper. It's about choice, not forcing everyone onto the tech train. And the data thing, it's not like scanning a menu is giving them your whole life story or anything. It's more like what you order, when you order it, that kind of thing.
So it's more for the restaurant to, like, get to know their customers better. Is that what they mean by marketing goldmine? Because I saw that in one of these articles and I was like, ooh, juicy.
Exactly. Every time someone scans, it's information.
Yeah.
Right. What's popular, what people are feeling that day, even how long they look at, like the appetizer section. Imagine knowing what your customers want before they even do.
Talk about personalized service. It's like having a sixth sense or something.
Right. And then that turns into like what they recommend you, loyalty programs, maybe even like you see a picture of a dish on their Instagram and suddenly, bam, you can order it right there.
Okay, now I'm seeing the appeal business-wise. It's not just about being convenient. It's like staying ahead of the game, knowing your customers better than they know themselves almost. But you said personal. Are we talking like AI menus that magically know my favorite order? Because that's getting kind of sci-fi, even for me.
Well, maybe not magic, not yet anyway. But yeah, some of these articles, they get into what AI could do with menus. Imagine. It's super hot out, right? The menu suggests lighter dishes, iced drinks. Or maybe you can't decide. It could do a chef's surprise based on what you've ordered before.
That's wild. It's like having a personal chef in your phone. And speaking of wild, there was something in here about augmented reality, too. I skimmed it, but it sounded like something out of Back to the Future. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. That's the next level stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine like holding your phone up to a dish and you see it in 3D, how it's plated, how big it is, maybe even a video of how they make it.
Okay, now I'm picturing those like super futuristic food commercials where the food practically jumps off the screen. But we're talking real life here. Is that even possible with the tech we have now?
It's early days, but the tech is definitely there. It's about making that jump from your phone to the real world, making eating out even more like an experience. And who knows what else they'll come up with. We're just getting started.
This is a lot to process. I mean, it sounds like QR codes are more than just a trend at this point. They could really change the game for restaurants. But with all this cool stuff we're talking about, we got to be real. There's got to be some downsides too, right? Like, not everyone's a tech whiz, for one.
You're totally right. The articles definitely talk about that. Not everyone has a smartphone or even wants to use it for their whole meal, and that's okay.
Right.
And then there's always the chance of, like, tech issues. What if the internet's slow? Suddenly that seamless experience is just annoying.
Right. No one wants to stare at a loading screen when they're hungry. So what's the takeaway here? Are QR codes taking over the world? Or are we still ways off from like a truly digital dining experience? So are we ditching paper menus forever then? Is that what we're saying? Or are we all going to miss them someday?
I don't think it's about one replacing the other completely. What these articles really point out is it's more about finding that sweet spot, using tech to make things better, not to like take over the whole experience. Restaurants got to think about who their customers are, what they're all about, and yeah, those potential problems we talked about too.
Because no amount of fancy tech is going to fix a meal that just isn't good, or a server who's just having a bad day, right?
So true. A QR code is just a tool in the end. What makes people come back, it's the whole package,
It's that human touch, yeah. It makes me think of this one place I went to, super hyped up digital menu, the works, but the food was just kind of eh. And honestly, I miss being able to be like, hey, what's your favorite thing here, to an actual person.
That's what it comes down to, right? Keeping that balance, trying new things, but not forgetting what makes a good dining experience, well, good.
So final verdict time, QR code menus, here to stay or are they going to fade away?
From what we've seen in these articles, definitely here to stay. But the thing is, it's up to restaurants to figure it out, use this tech to make things better, not more complicated,
It's like those old sci-fi movies, right? Where you have robots serving you food. Sounded cool in theory, but sometimes you just want a friendly face and a good meal.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah.
In the end, it's about what people really want when they go out. Great food, good company, and hey, maybe a little tech sprinkled in to make it even better.
There you have it. We went deep on QR code menus, and wow, there's a lot more to them than meets the eye. Turns out, how we experience food, it's changing right in front of our eyes, literally. Who knows what's next? Thanks for joining us on this culinary adventure. Now we got to ask, are YU team QR code or are you sticking with the good old-fashioned paper? Let us know.